Now let's talk about something that's been making waves globally: Trump's tariffs and how they're impacting markets all over the world. These tariffs have sparked concerns about a potential price war, but here's something interesting. Iraq is one of the least affected by these changes. Why? Well, the country's energy exports, which include crude oil, aren't included in these duties. Iraq exports between 7 and 8 million barrels of crude oil per month to the United States, and this has remained unaffected by the recent tariffs. This means that Iraq's oil sector is continuing to thrive, and that's a big deal for their economy. Economic expert Mustafa Hanto has weighed in on this, saying that Iraq will likely be one of the least impacted by these tariffs compared to other countries. So while global markets are shaking up, Iraq is staying relatively stable in this regard. Now, let's shift gears a bit, because there's something exciting and possibly game-changing happening in Iraq's economy. Iraq is preparing for some major economic reforms, and a big part of this is centered around the Iraqi Dinar, the country's official currency. If you've been following global economies at all, you know that currency stability is a key pillar for any nation's growth. A stable currency means that businesses can plan, trade, and invest more easily, and citizens can rely on the value of their money. Today, we're going to explore why Iraq's steps to strengthen its economy and stabilize the dinar matter not just for Iraqis, but also for international investors. But there's a catch. Will Iraq go ahead with the controversial idea of deleting zeros from the dinar? This is a big topic, and it's important for us to break it down and understand what that means for the currency's value. Let's dive into this and see what's at stake. When we talk about strengthening Iraq's economy, it's not just about one thing. It involves a variety of key sectors working together. These include improving infrastructure, which leads to better roads, healthcare, and public services, things that everyone relies on. A solid infrastructure attracts investments, reduces costs for businesses, and improves the quality of life for everyone. Next, there's education. Iraq's focus on improving its education system is crucial. By investing in education, Iraq can develop a skilled workforce. A skilled workforce makes Iraq more attractive to foreign businesses and investors, which in turn boosts the economy. And let's not forget trade and investment. Iraq's trade relations are key to its economic prosperity. The more Iraq can export, whether it's oil, gas, or other goods, and the more it attracts foreign investment, the stronger its economy becomes. A thriving trade network helps diversify the economy, making it less vulnerable to global shocks. You may be wondering, how does all of this relate to the Iraqi dinar? Here's the simple answer. A stronger economy typically leads to a stronger currency. When an economy is growing and stable, investors are more likely to put their money in that country. More investment means the demand for the country's currency increases, which in turn increases the currency's value. However, things aren't as simple as they seem. While Iraq is taking steps to bolster its economy, there's an ongoing debate about deleting zeros from the dinar. Let me explain what this means. If you're not familiar with the idea of deleting zeros, it refers to a plan where Iraq might remove a few zeros from the dinar's denomination. For example, if 1 dinar is worth 1,000 units, it could be redenominated to 1 dinar. This move might seem positive at first glance because it could make the currency look stronger. After all, a smaller number looks more appealing. But there are concerns. One of the biggest concerns is the impact on savings. If you have 10,000 dinars in your bank account today, will you only have 10 dinars after the zeros are removed? That's a scary thought, especially for people who have worked hard to save money. There's also the question of how global markets would react. If Iraq goes through with deleting zeros, it could cause uncertainty. Foreign investors may become cautious, and this could lead to a decrease in investment. It's a tough balance to strike, making a bold move to revalue the currency without scaring off international investors. Rather than deleting zeros outright, many experts suggest that Iraq should focus on revaluing the dinar gradually without removing zeros. This could preserve confidence in the currency while still improving its value over time. Some skeptics argue that deleting zeros might be the easier approach. However, we can look at examples from other countries that have successfully revalued their currencies without taking drastic measures. For instance, when Turkey revalued its lira in the early 2000s, it kept the old currency in circulation alongside the new one. This helped smooth out the transition for both businesses and everyday people. So, if Iraq follows a similar model, there's a good chance that the transition could be more successful and less disruptive for the economy and citizens alike. If Iraq decides to go ahead with currency reforms, here are some actionable steps that could make the process smoother. One of the most important things Iraq needs to do is communicate clearly with its citizens about what changes are happening. The more transparent they are, the less fear and confusion people will feel. Everyone should understand exactly how their money will be affected. Another crucial step is educating citizens about financial matters. If people understand the value of their currency and the reasoning behind changes, they're more likely to accept and even support the changes. Financial literacy is essential in this process. Iraq should also work on building partnerships with other countries to help strengthen its economy. By fostering international relations and attracting foreign investments, Iraq can solidify its place on the global stage. Now let's shift gears and talk about the Iraqi Dinar Revaluation, RV. For years, this has been a highly anticipated event in the world of currency exchange and investment. Reports are now surfacing that lower denominations of the dinar are starting to circulate in Iraq. This is a huge sign that the RV process might be moving forward. Why does this matter? When lower denominations are introduced, it typically signals that the currency's value is about to rise. This could mean that those who've been holding on to dinars at low rates might see their investment increase in value once the RV happens. It's an exciting prospect for anyone who has purchased dinars at a low price. While these developments are encouraging, we're still waiting for the official start time of the RV. The exact timing is uncertain, as it depends on several factors, such as the stability of Iraq's government, global economic conditions, and even political events. If you're holding dinars or interested in exchanging them, stay informed by keeping an eye on official announcements, news updates, and reports from Iraqi banks. These subtle cues will give you a better idea of when the RV might occur. It's important to mention that there have been scams associated with dinar investments and the RV process. Be cautious and always do your research. Stick to credible sources for your information and stay connected with trustworthy communities. If you already own dinars, now could be a good time to organize your investments. Get your paperwork in order and make sure you know where and how you plan to exchange your dinars once the RV takes place. If you don't have a preferred bank or exchange service, take the time to explore your options. As Iraq continues to take steps to strengthen its economy, the world is watching closely. Whether they choose to delete zeros or focus on revaluing the currency, the decisions they make today will have a significant impact on the future of the Iraqi dinar and the country's economic stability. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about deleting zeros from the dinar? Do you think it's the right move, or do you see the risks involved? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this content valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.